Good morning, Class 3 and Class 4. Welcome to your reading session for today. So today we are going to carry on with the Hodgehog. So today I would like you to read the next chapter, chapter 6, which you'll find in the same place as you found it all week. If you want to pause me now while you read that and then come back for the questions, that's fine. If you just want to carry on with the questions, I'll go through them now. Okay, so question 1, why are Max's family worried about him? Number 2, how would you describe the personality of the neighbour hedgehog and why? Number 3, what foolish thing did Max do in the chapter? Number 4, how did Pa and Ma react differently to the dreadful noise they heard? And number 5, how does the author show that the milkman is angry at the end of the chapter? Okay, pause me now then, guys, while you have a go at answering those. And then when you're ready, come back and we'll go through the answers. Okay, so Max's family are worried because he hasn't come home yet. He's been out all night. So the personality of the neighbour hedgehog, you might have said he's very helpful, very kind, very sweet. And we know this because he takes the time to try and help Max get home and told Max's parents that he has seen him. What foolish thing did Max do in the chapter and why? So he dashed across the street without thinking or glancing to look for traffic. And he did this because he was so excited to feel normal again and he knew that he was near home. So Ma curled herself into a ball of misery and didn't want to go outside because she feared the worst, whereas Pa behaved differently as he said they had to brace themselves and felt they should go and see what happened even if it was bad news. And then the author showed that the milkman was angry because he wrote that the milkman's voice was cursing every hedgehog ever born as he danced with rage.
Hi guys, good morning Class 3 and Class 4. We're on Tuesday the 30th of June and today our LO is to empathise with a character. So when we're empathising, we're understanding how they are feeling, and the aim for this week, by the end of the week, we'll have written a survival guide for hedgehogs in the role of Max. So today we're getting into that role of Max, the hedgehog from the Hodgehog, to help us understand how he was feeling and the different things that he experienced whilst he was out and about throughout the story. Okay, so pause it now so you can get that written down. Okay, so a nice short task today, so there won't be much input from me here, because simply I just want you to, in your book, to make a list of 3 different activities that Max found trickier than a human would find. And can you explain why each one of those is tricky for a hedgehog? So think about all the different things that Max did throughout the book, and I want you to think about why they were so tricky and why they were trickier than a human, for a human to do. Okay, so I want you to explain why each one is tricky for a hedgehog and not a human. So again, this is just getting us into that sort of mindset of thinking like Max and thinking about how things would be different for a small creature compared to a human. Again, this is going to help us when we start our plan tomorrow. Okay, so in your book, you simply need to do a list of 3 activities. You might want to do it as a mind map, that would be great. And yeah, have a go. Okay, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Good morning, Class 3. So today in maths, we're going to be looking at multiplying and dividing by 8. So to begin with, you're going to watch another video by the lovely gentleman who's going to talk you through the ways in which you can work the ways in which you can use your skills to multiply and divide by 8, and using that in a range of ways, and how we recognise that in different variations and representations. Okay, the video might seem a little bit funny at first. That's just because originally it was part of one video where you multiplied and divided by 4 and then straight into your 8s, but I thought it'd be better doing 4s one day and 8s another day. Okay, so ignore where the video is a little bit funny at the start. Apologies, guys, I couldn't get that off mute then. I have it ready now for you. Here you go.
Now ready, if you've got the White Rose Maths worksheet for this lesson, to have a go at the questions about the 4 times table. If not, you can have a look at the BBC bite-sized materials on the 4 times table. We've got more of the video to go, of course, so come back in a few minutes and let's have a look at the 8 times table together. We're now going to explore and learn about the 8 times table. And as you can see, I've straight away given you a couple of questions for you to have a go at. That's because how we're going to look at the 8 times table is really similar to how we've just looked at the 4 times table. So pause the video, see if you can complete the missing boxes. So number 1, I can see here I've got 8 lots, haven't I? I've got groups of juice, and I've got 8 groups of them. 8 lots of 2 cartons is equal to 16. 8 times 2 is equal to 16. Question 2, I don't have 8 lots, I've got 3 lots, but how many is in each group? How many fish in each tank? 8. So 3 lots of 8 fish, 24 fish. 3 times 8 is equal to 24. And of course we've got our array, just like we had with the 4s. So pause the video, complete the fact family that the array shows. Let's have a look. We're going to look along the rows first. Now we've got 8 rows of 5, so 8 times 5 is equal to 40. We've got 5 columns of 8, 5 times 8 is equal to 40. Hopefully we're getting into the idea of this fact family now. We've got the 2 divisions. So we've got 40 divided into 8 rows, and there's 5 on each row. So 40 divided by 8 is equal to 5. And then we've got 40 divided into 5 columns, 8 in each column. 40 divided by 5 is equal to 8. We're now going to explore the relationship between the 4 and this 8 times table. So to start with, pause the video and complete the 2 number tracks. Well, I'm sure you realise that the first number track is the 4 times table, isn't it? So our missing numbers are 16, 36, and 12 times 4, 48. The lower one is the 8 times table. So we've got 16, we've got 24, and then we've got 56, and then we've got 9 times 8, 72. Okay. So I'm going to pick a random multiple of 4 to explore the relationships between these 2 times tables. And I've chosen 6 times 4, which is 24. I could have chosen any of the multiples, which would show the same thing. Okay, so if I look down onto the 8 times table number track, I can see that 6 times 8 is 48. So let's have a think about what's going on here. Well, we can see in our 2 multiplication number sentences, the 6 is the same, isn't it? We've still got 6 times 4, and then we've got 6 times 8. The 4 and the 8, what's the relationship between 4 and 8? Well, 8 is double 4, isn't it? Or 4 is half of 8. So when we times 6 by 4, we get 24. When we times 6 by 8, we get double 24. We get 48. And if you compare each column down our number tracks, we can see that that's the same. We look at 4. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 8 is double 4 is 8. We could look at 10. 10 times 4 is 40. 10 times 8 is 80. And we could do it for any of the multiples. And this is really useful because the 8 times table can be quite a tricky times table to learn. The 4's probably more straightforward for most of us. And this is how I help myself with the 8 times table. So I know that, for example, 9 times 4 is 36. So if someone says, what's 9 times 8? Well, one technique I have is just to double 36, 72. Okay. You might want to think about other times tables that have that same relationship as 4 and 8. So now we're going to have a look at the 4 and the 8 times table, and in fact the 2 times table, using this, which is called a Venn diagram. We can see we've got a circle for the 2 times table, a circle for the 4 times table, and a circle for the 8 times table. And we're going to be looking at different numbers and where we're going to put them in our Venn diagram. The importance of the Venn diagram is what we call the intersections. That's the bit where the circles overlap. So where the 2 and the 4 times table overlaps, you'd put in there a number that's in both the 2 and the 4 times table. And where we've got the overlap in the middle, where all 3 circles overlap, well, you'd put in there numbers that are in the 2, 4, and 8 times table. Let's have a look at our first number, 6. Well, let's count up in 2s. Let's see if it's in the 2 times table. 2, 4, 6. And hopefully you knew that it was straight away. What about the 4 times table? 4, 8, 12. No. 6 is not a multiple of 4. It's not in the 4 times table. And how about the 8s? It's not in the 8 times table either, is it? So we're going to put 6 just in the 2 times table circle. have a look at our next number, 4. Well, we know it's in the 4 times table, don't we? So do you think we're going to put it there? Not quite, because it is in the 4 times table, but it's also in the 2 times table. So we've got to put the 4 there, in that intersection, that overlap between the circle for the 2 times table, circle for the 4 times table. How about 16? Well, I know it's in the 2 times table because it's even. Is it in the 4 times table? 4, 8, 12, 16, yes it is. Is it in the 8 times table? 8, 16. Yes it is, it's in all 3. So we're going to put 16 right in the middle where all 3 circles overlap. Sometimes with a Venn diagram, you might get this situation, 5. Well, is 5 in the 2 times table? No. 4 times table? No. 8 times table? No, it's not. So it's perfectly fine in a Venn diagram when you've got something that won't go in any of the groups to simply leave it outside the circle, so it's not in any circle. So pause the video, I've given you some more numbers, the same Venn diagram, see if you can place them in the correct place. Let's see how we've got on. So there we have 15, of course, isn't in any of the times tables, so that's outside. 2 is just in the 2 times table. 12 and 28, they're in the 2 and the 4, but they're not multiples of 8, so not in the 8. Then we've got 56 and 8, they're multiples of all 3. Okay, so they go right in the middle. So you're now ready to move on, if you've got the worksheet for today, to the 8 times table worksheet or the 8 times table material on the BBC Bite Size website.
Okay guys, so hopefully that was useful for you. Apologies again about the video not working, so you might have had to wait a little bit whilst I opened it on in a different way, but hopefully that was fine. So here you go then, here are your questions for today. It's just those 7, and then when you've had a go at it, the answers are on the next page for you to have a go at marking yourself. So take your time, read the questions carefully, and use the facts that you know to help you. Okay, so pause it now whilst you have a go at those, and then when you're ready for the answers, press play. Okay, so here are the answers for you then, guys, to mark your work. Remember, if you've got something wrong, it is absolutely fine. Do not stress. When I'm in school with children at school, we're making mistakes as well. So please don't stress. Do not worry at all. Just have a look and see if you can work out where you went wrong. Okay, that is how we learn from our mistakes. So do not worry. Okay, good luck with that then, guys. Have fun, and I will see you later on. Bye.